The first deck I played in this expansion was Minionless Hunter with To My Side, and unfortunately that ended up being at least kind of a meta deck. I don't think this one is a meta deck. I haven't seen, well, I saw like one person playing it, but I haven't seen very many big warriors running around, and I quite enjoy playing large minions before their spot on the curve. So obviously the centerpiece of the deck is the legendary weapon Woecleaver. I think a lot of people dismiss this because it's an 8 mana 3/3 weapon, but when you look at it as Ysera for 1 less mana with a 3/3 weapon attached to it, I think it starts to look a lot more appealing. I think this card is actually pretty good, and it's not even that vulnerable to ooze because you always get at least one recruit out of it. Any recruit past the first one is just nutty. And then we have 2 copies of Gather Your Party, which is the other recruit card Warrior got. All it says on the card is recruit a minion, so you put big minions into your deck and hope to recruit the big minions. I'm also just now realizing that Gather Your Party has the dungeon run entrance board thing on it, which I guess makes sense, but I never connected the dots. So originally I was modeling this deck after Big Priest because this is Big Warrior, Big Priest, they both have big in the name. The problem with this deck compared to Big Priest is one, you don't have the obsidian statues, which is a little bit of an issue, but not like a disaster. And you also don't have Eternal Servitudes. So Big Priest only plays like 5 big minions. They play Yashiraj, Ysera, Lich King, and the two statues. But you don't have Eternal Servitude in this deck, so you have to play more threats. And also because you don't have the Eternal Servitudes, that means you don't have the ridiculous follow-up right after Barnes. So Barnes is a lot less unfair in this deck than it is in Big Priest. But I've still been able to sculpt the deck in a way where Barnes is usually very strong if he comes down early. And then the other big deck that's existed has been Druid. But compared to Druid, we don't have Wild Growth or Jade Blossom or Mire Keeper or any of that stuff. So we are a little bit slower to get going. We need to play removal to survive in the early turns. So of course we've got weapons, that's kind of the thing that Warrior does. We've got executes, we've got shield slams, we've got Whirlwind plus Sleep with the Fishes. Whirlwind kinda sucks, but I can't play Ravaging Ghoul in this deck because a 6 mana 3/3 is quite bad. And you can't really not play Sleep with the Fishes in this deck. I've also got 2 copies of Reckless Flurry. I really liked this card when they revealed it. But since playing with it, it does feel a little bit clunky. It's not always easy to have the armor when you need it, and in some matchups at certain points you feel really bad giving up like 10 armor to clear a board. But it is still a pretty efficient board clear. It's probably at its best on like turn 5 when you have 2 armor already and you just go Hero Power Flurry for a 4 damage AoE. But we've also got 2 copies of Bring It On to support it. Makes this a 5 mana, 10 damage AoE, which is pretty ridiculous. And I also wanted to play the Bring It Ons, they also support Shield Slam, but I also wanted to play them to support Geosculptor Yip, the new Warrior legendary. I like Geosculptor Yip a lot, but I'm not really sure how much sense he makes in this deck. He's kinda bad with Barnes sometimes, because on turn 4 you usually don't have armor, but he still gives you a Wisp, and then you get like 2 1/1s instead of 2, which isn't a disaster. And similar problem with Gather Your Party, like pretty often you don't have armor on turn 6, and then Geosculptor Yip is like by far your worst pull. I think if you're committed to playing the Dragon package with like Dragon Lord and Deathwing and Ysera, maybe it's better to just go for a second Primordial Drake over the Geosculptor. But the Geosculptor's cool, sometimes he makes for some highlight plays, so I wanted to try him out. I think if you're playing a less dragon-oriented list, which would probably involve cutting maybe the Primordial Drake and the 2 Deathwings, and then, I don't know, you want to play like Ramesh and Rotface maybe? Especially if you can also play Scourgelord Garrosh on that deck, because obviously the 5 armor Battlecry from the Death Knight makes a lot of sense with the Geosculptor. And I guess since we're talking about Scourgelord Garrosh, I'll mention that I'm not playing him. So there are a few reasons I'm not playing Garrosh. The main one is I have to play so much other big stuff to support the Woecleaver, the Gather Your Party, and the Barnes. And this guy is big without really supporting any of that, so I don't like him too much for that. Also, in this metagame, there's a lot of mages that like to play their weapon and draw a bunch of cards and just fireball you over multiple turns. So you can't really afford to give up your armor up hero power in that matchup. There's also like a lot of hunters and stuff that are trying to burn you out. The weapon is pretty good against something like Zoo, but I feel like those matchups are less common. And also, I found it sometimes difficult to really use my Reckless Flurries after I was in Death Knight mode, but that was before I was playing the 2 copies of Bring It On, so maybe he makes a little more sense there. But the main point is, I've got too much big stuff already, and I feel like I need this amount of big stuff to support the deck. One other thing I was trying was cutting some of the big stuff and playing a copy of Dead Man's Hand. You don't try to go infinite with it, but it's still helpful in the fatigue matchups, and that way if you draw like 1 or 2 of your big things, you can shuffle them back into your deck and then still swing it through your Woecleaver and still recruit a minion. That is one of the problems. Sometimes you just run out of stuff to recruit, but obviously you can't play too much big stuff. Anyway, I've been talking for too long, so let's go make some big dudes.
Your soul shall be mine! Victory or death!
I just played against a Warlock, but it was not this guy, so I don't have a read on him being control. If I knew for sure he was control, I may have considered keeping the Woecleaver there, just because the card is such a superstar. Okay, we got early game weapons, that's good against Zoo. Got some 8 drops, which is never good to have. But that's why we play so many big things, just for the recruit redundancy, basically. Hero power instead of equipping the axe, because maybe the Blood Razor will be better. Stonehill Defender. I guess this card is becoming a staple in Control Warrior now because of Void Lord and the Homunculus. Seems pretty good now with those bonuses added to its pool. Oh, I hit Barnes. So Yasharaj is good. Dragon Lord is actually very good. Lich King is good. So we're trying to dodge normal Deathwing. Yasharaj into Ysera. I mean, into Lich King. I'll take it. That's pretty damn good. Better be playing Cataclysm. Also, if he plays Cataclysm, I'm gonna be upset. Alright, still have the 8/8. Pretty solid. So we get to hit him for 8. Barnes can clear out that taunt. Fiery War Axe kills the 4/3. Seems like I'm in a good spot here. And then I can just play Gather Your Party next turn. Everything it hits is ridiculous. And he'll still be, what, a turn off from Twisting Nether? Coin Siphon Soul. That means he's gonna be real far off from that Twisting Nether. Do I hit with a weapon? Set him to 17. Deathwing hits him down to 5. It actually sets up Blood Razor lethal. And if he kills Deathwing, he puts 2 dragons on the board. So second Siphon Soul is like not even good here.
Yes. Oh yes. They'll serve side effects. No. Trust.
Alright. Well, I think I would classify that game as both fun and interactive.
I must protect the wild. Victory or death!
He could be aggro Druid, but keeping a Whirlwind on its own isn't even that good in that matchup. Okay, so it looks like he's probably not aggro if he missed his 1 and 2 drop. I don't know if that's good for me. Probably just going to be a matter of who can put the biggest stuff on the table first. And since he hasn't hit Wild Growth, Jade Blossom, or Greedy Sprite, I think I've got a real shot at this game. So that's cool. So my immediate response was, I don't know how to deal with that. And then the follow-up thought was, I don't really have to because it's a 3/5. I guess I can smack it twice with Fiery War Axe and take 9 damage. Seems good to me.
Join the guild. We have cookies.
Wow, even going in on the guild recruiter. I respect his ambitions. But despite that respect, I'm gonna blow up his board. So saving the coin here means that I can play Gather Your Party next turn, on turn 6, and then I can coin an 8-drop and then play another 8-drop. Although Geosculptor Yip is not particularly good, since I have such low armor.
Dark One snuffs all.
Why is he playing that? Like, yeah, you can recruit it, but do you want to? I respect it, though. Doom Pact. Not in love with the Doom Pact here. Oh, my Lich King survives. Okay. That is... I'm into that. Oh, you can't play those into my Primordial Drake friend. This poor guy. Hit him for 8. Start working on that armor so he can't attack with his Ironwood Golems. Get another actually useless Death Knight card. I don't know. Doom Pact's not worthless, but could definitely be better. Oh no, he's gonna have 11 mana next turn. Alright. It's kind of a bummer that he had that. I guess if I had traded, I could have played around that, but whatever. Give me a sick 1-drop Geosculptor. Not attacking into one of these. Mostly just because they're 3/1s and I don't have to. But also it means that he doesn't have 10 mana this turn, so no Ultimate Infestation.
This will be grisly.
I do not like the voice line on that card, what the hell? That doesn't seem appropriate at all. See what I can recruit. Nice. Unfortunately, I don't have a weapon to make this small-time Buccaneer bigger. Definitely want armor, get a 3-drop instead of a 1-drop this time. Maybe I'll get a South Sea Captain. That'd be dope. If I kill this, it's gonna pull out stuff I can't really deal with. I think I just ignore it. I can just build my board for as long as I want, and he's a druid, so he can't really do anything about it. Oh, that could be silly. I bet he wishes he had 2 Reckless Flurries in his hand right about now. Why did he hit that? Swipe, sure. Okay. Wrath on the Geosculptor makes a lot of sense. I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to use the Drakari Enchanter to double pull off of Geosculptor Yip. Very disappointed. But I can start recruiting with the Woecleaver here. Can execute this to try to start pushing this 12 to the face. Keeping this on the board is decent if I hit Yashiraj with the Woecleaver, because then it guarantees the Ysera. Let's just execute here. What's he pulling? He's pulling the Astral Tigers, maybe only 1 Astral Tiger, probably an Ironwood Golem. Let's do this. Wow, hit Barnes off Woecleaver. That's a bummer. But I still have a Deathwing that summons a Deathwing. That's good. Nourish, sure, 5 mana do nothing. I'm pretty into that. Sure thing. Reckless Flurry hits my board too, right? All minions. Alright. I'm gonna execute that, and I'm gonna hit him in the face for 12 damage. Because 12 damage is a lot. See what dream card we can get here. Laughing Sister. Not one of the better ones. Probably wanted Nightmare the most there. Nightmare was often lethal next turn. Although I'm showing, what, 16, 19. I guess I don't really have lethal very often next turn. Oh, he's gonna be disappointed when there's another 12-12. Up a shield block. I guess I'll play that. What am I looking for with the shield block? Shield slam so I can kill that guy. I can probably just send the Woecleaver to the face. I don't care about this ghoul infester. And I want to pull Yashiraj before I draw a card so that I don't have to draw the Yashiraj. If that part wasn't clear. Nice. Woecleaver OP against tier 4 Druid decks.
My blade burns with holy fire.
Victory or death!
Okay, I think I keep Bloodrazor against Paladin. I'm not sure if I keep the Sleep with the Fishes to go with it. I think I'll toss the Sleep. The Sleep with the Fishes is actually kind of awkward in my build. I probably need to get a Whirlwind effect in here. Which I guess can't be Ravaging Ghoul, so it needs to be Whirlwind. Okay, he's Murlocs. Murlocs are tough. I figured he was probably the aggro paladin that makes a bunch of dudes. I wonder if I should just kill the Hydrologist instead of drawing the card. My hand really sucks, so I think I need the card draw. And this puts this guy in Bloodrazor range. He would have Rock Bull Huntered last turn if he had it. He could have this card. Yep, that one right there. I'm just gonna shield block here. Keep drawing cards. Sleep with the Fishes is really good. I considered holding the shield block. Maybe a turn 5 shield block coin Reckless Flurry or something could have been good. But I felt like I wanted to draw the card. I want to set up for Sleep with the Fishes, so I'm playing Bloodrazor here, I think. I'm not sure if I hit with the weapon, but I think I'm going to. Partially for the sake of concealing the fact that I'm going to sleep next turn. And also just because I want the Death Rattle to be set up. Depending on what he does, maybe the Death Rattle itself is just enough of a threat to the board. It's a lot of cards out of that Divine Favor. Don't think I want to play Dead Man's Hand with this hand. I really don't want to play Sleep with the Fishes into this board. It just doesn't seem that good.
What now?
What's my turn 6? My turn 7 can be coin Garrosh or coin Lich King. Looks like my turn 6 is maybe like a hero power Reckless Flurry. I'd be getting armor this turn too. So it'd be like a 4 damage AoE, which could be pretty good. I think I can afford to play Sleep here. I guess Smack Face makes the most sense, because the Death Rattle will trigger on this guy, and then it'll get damaged, or it'll die and be redeemed, and then the Sleep still kills. Okay, so we got to deny the Spikeridge Steed this turn, which is good. Unfortunately, a 4 damage AoE does not kill the big worm. Oh, this guy's playing a lot of Murlocs. Rank 5 floor Murloc quest deck. Alright, well that's the AoE I set up for. And now I have my option of either 8 drop next turn, curve it into the other 8, into the Ysera, into probably not the Deathwing, because I'm probably dying if I'm playing Deathwing Dragonlord with this deck. Or in this matchup, I should say. Valenier, huh? Valenier is actually going to be an issue to deal with. Hopefully there's not a Bone Mare coming down this turn. Doom Pact is good. I'm happy to see a Doom Pact.
The light dims, but we fight.
Sunkeeper Tarim. Did he actually buff anything in his hand? I don't see the little sparkly thing that you usually see on regular hand buff cards, so I don't know if he just didn't get the Valenier back. That'd be really dope if he didn't get the Valenier back. Well, anyway, this board. If I play Scourgelord Garrosh, I die. Well, I don't necessarily die. I take 9 damage and I'm at 12. I think I'm just gonna play Doom Pact here. I mill some cards, but whatever. I don't need all the cards in my deck to win this matchup. I milled some really good cards, though. Hoping to see that Ironhide or that Forge of Souls. So is the other card in his hand the Valenier buffed one? Seems like he would have played it. Well, Scourgelord Garrosh is good here. Bop. I'm at 11. 11's pretty solid. I have 2 Shield Slams in my hand, along with a Shield Block to activate them. Nice. I actually don't know if he was out of that, but... oh well.